Yo, what's up? It's me again. I'm here abreast to the Sydney Opera House, overlooking the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Got a nice little view of that, and I have the Metropolis, the gorgeous Sydney city, in the background as well. Got kind of a triad of awesome here. So I'm at the end of my tour, right? I'm at the end of my Asia, India, Cambodia, Hong Kong tour. And it's been a long journey. Got a week left in Australia, and yeah, so basically kind of a culminating deal. I've kind of learned a lot on this trip. Basically, I want to talk today about travel, why travel is important. It is extremely important that you travel, even if it's just to your adjacent town. I'm a huge proponent, activist for traveling, simply because I was a very anxious kid. I was probably on the path to just suicide at one point. I was very, very depressed within myself, and traveling is something that really helped to mitigate that. Because when you're an anxious person, which I realize now that I was, and I probably still am in a lot of ways, it allows you to, traveling, just being in different places, allows you to meet all of those different barriers that you were afraid of meeting in your homeland when you were scared in your room playing video games or watching series for days and days and days. I mean, some of the stuff that I've done in these last 6 months, I cannot believe that I've done. Riding a motorbike through Thailand at 100 kilometers per hour because you didn't have internet, because you were relying on your friend's internet in shorts on Thai highway. That's one. How about going to India for 2 weeks with not a credit card and just a fixed amount of cash? Cool or dumb? I don't really know. Probably a little bit of both. But yeah, just the things that you do when you're traveling, navigating. I mean, I know how to navigate pretty much any metro now. I'm now willing to go out and seek out metros that are challenging, because I'm pretty competent at figuring it out anyway. I used to be terrified of that. Just a little bit of background on how terrified of a person I used to be. I used to have trouble buying things at stores. My friends would go and have a taco at the taqueria down the street. I could not do that because I was terrified that the woman at the cashier would make fun of me for not having the right change or whatever. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical, purely fear-based, and totally anxiety related. But yeah, I mean, I was a very anxious kid. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I couldn't go number 2 anywhere other than my own house for like the first 12 to 13, maybe even 14 years of my life. There was severe anxiety even going to the bathroom in another person's house, or a friend's house, a friend that invited me over to his house almost weekly. I couldn't do that then. I just held it until I had to come home. I ended play dates early when I was a kid, so I didn't have to do that. But the places that I've gone to the bathroom now, go to Asia if you have that problem. Go to Asia, use a squat toilet, eat lots of fiber. You'll get over it, I promise. But yeah, I mean, I've gone number 2 in a gorge the other day, top of an abandoned building. It's just a non-issue nowadays. So you're faced with things, you overcome them. It's just how you are as a human. Otherwise, I'd be dead probably because of bowel explosion. I don't actually know what that would have been. But and I know what's another thing I did. Let's say, there's the scaling the outside of a building. There's the sleeping on top of a rooftop, living for 3 days homeless in Hong Kong. There's going to an island without any plans of accommodation, completely unsure of where I'm going to stay. Again, fixed amount of cash, already pulled out as everything that I was going to. It's like, this is the amount, and I lived on that. Scary, and there's a lot of uncertainty going on in your mind when you're traveling, and if you're inexperienced at traveling. But it's important to face that, I think, because I've become a better person for it. I can handle that, and I know within myself that when I deal with uncertainty now in the future, that I'll be able to handle it. And it is quintessential for me, man. I'd probably be dead right now if I hadn't decided to travel. If I hadn't started meditating, I wouldn't have had a clear enough mind to think about traveling, and then I wouldn't have traveled. So wouldn't have met all these friends in Sydney. It's just crazy to think about how that life would have been. Because I've been living in this weird dream state. I've been in Asia where I've had most money, and then like Hong Kong, also Asia, but you know, other parts of Asia you have like no money, and then now I'm in Sydney and I have really whereas like the $200 that would have gotten me, you know, fine for a week, maybe even, you know, a while, in Asia did not carry over here in Sydney. Got to be very careful about that. But the most important part is that when you're traveling, you learn, because one of the biggest things about anxiety is uncertainty. And when you're traveling, you're forced to deal with uncertainty. My flight's delayed. What do I do? I miss my flight. What do I do? What if I miss my flight? What do I do? What if we're delayed? What if I miss my connecting flight? You know, these are all things that used to terrify me. That's another one. I missed my flight. I've never missed my flight. A friend took me out the night before. He gave me some weird Hong Kong whiskey or something. You know who you are. And I missed my flight for a story that I won't go into too deeply. But yes, it's quintessential. You learn to face the uncertainty, because uncertainty lives in here. The world is uncertain. The world is what it is. Actually, the world is very certain. The world is what it is. Like, this is water. This is light. This is blue. This, you know, these things are. And the only place of uncertainty is in here. So you don't know when, if, because the future tense is the hypothetical. You're not sure what's going to happen with that. And that's where it lives. So what you're doing is you're facing uncertainty within yourself when you're traveling. Like when I'm on a plane or on a ferry or on a boat or train or something, I'm like, oh, the uncertainty, like, will I miss my stop? Am I going to miss my stop? How am I going to make sure that I'm going to not miss my stop? Little things like that. You're dealing with that all the time when you're traveling, and yeah. So everyone should travel. But yeah, basically that's my little sermon. Pretty much at the end here. Just the whole trip has been interesting. I've said that a billion times. At any rate, so travel. Do it. Everyone should do it, even if it's to your adjacent cities that you've never been. Even if it's exploring the Oran train system nearby, the nearest public transit you have. Go down that weird road that doesn't have any signs telling you that you can't. Find out why it looks sketchy, or figure it out, man. Do something. Move. Don't stagnate. Keep being dynamic. God, has it helped me in my life. I don't know where life is really going to go from here. I have an idea, but you know, always open to change. So yeah, with that said, one more swirly view. I'm pretty much done this vlog project, and yeah, I'll see you guys sometime.